Good morning, YouTube. Well, Normal Guy is expanding. We have another owner.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan and this is The Howard. This channel is all about the supercar ownership experience. And if you didn't know, we have a company, Normal Guy LLC, that does, well, the parts sales of all of these cars. And we also have a dealership, NG Supercars. And now there's 4 owners. So let's meet the other owner. You know Josh?
What's up?
Josh is now a part owner of Normal Guy because why not?
Yeah, I guess. Dan asked me to help him get the dealership started, and we started rolling with that, and then it just was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. So if you didn't know, way back in the day when we had the Turo failure, won't go into that, Josh was a part of that, and Josh and I worked really well together. It was cool because it was like getting your feet wet and learning each other from a business perspective. Like obviously we were friends before that, but then to work together in a business function is always different. You know, like you don't know how people are in business versus real life. So that worked out really well. So when we got the dealership going, I was like, we need you. We did, we do. And then it just kind of was like, why have him only a part of the dealership when he's already a part of everything we do? Because it's kind of like its own ecosystem. Kind of made sense to bring him in, and now he's a part of everything. So one quick thing before we start asking questions, because you guys need to learn about Josh. Always use sales@normalguysupercar.com if you're trying to get something from the parts company. So if you need parts, email sales@normalguysupercar.com because it goes to all of us, including Adam, me, Josh, and even Megan now. And if you're trying to buy a car or deal or sell us a car or whatever, anything with the dealership, do sales@NG Supercars because that goes to all of us again. Sometimes one of us was working that day, sometimes we're not. So if you email me directly, don't. Please stop, because I don't always answer my email as efficiently as I used to because things are getting busy.
We get a ton of emails.
Yes, and the problem is when the company gets a lot of emails, it's one thing. When I personally am getting emails on top of the company emails, it takes up too much of my time, so I'm trying to stop that. Stop it. So anyway, we wanted to ask Josh some questions because we did the same thing when Adam came on board. Josh, how many cars have you owned? Personally, not your, he used to own a dealership, so we will exclude that.
Not counting my dealership, which I'll talk about in a minute. I don't even know. I'd have to think first.
Greater than 30?
It's probably close to 30. Somewhere around there. Yeah.
What are some notable cars?
So I loved Audis, still do. I had a B5 S4 Avant in a Mola yellow. That was an awesome car. Had an RS6, an 03 RS6. My first car was a Mercedes, 1986 Mercedes 190E. That was an awesome car. I loved that thing. And I sold it when I was in high school and I regret selling it. I'm still on the lookout for it, so if you have some way to find it for me, you know, email us. It went off the record in 2009. That's the last reported anything on Carfax. So it's either in a field rotting somewhere or it's overseas or something like that. So yeah, that was a bummer. And then I had a 1993 Nissan Maxima SE, 4-door sports car. That car was cool. My first like real sports car was a 03 Nissan 350Z.
Those are fun.
Yeah, that was an awesome car. I had that for a long time. And then, yeah, after that, it just kind of started snowballing into all sorts of cars.
I know you've had an R8.
Right, I had
one?
I had a 09 R8 gated V8, not a V10. I know everybody asks me. And then I had a 01 Ferrari 360. A couple old videos.
Yeah, we did some videos.
We've done some stuff in the past. It was yellow. It was a pretty cool car. 360 is my favorite Ferrari, by the way. Sorry, Adam.
Adam's off screen giving us looks right now.
Why? Yeah, I think 6 911s.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've had a couple of just 996 Carreras. I had a 997 Carrera 4S, 996 Turbo.
Nice.
The 996 Turbo was awesome. I love that car. I sold that on Bring a Trailer years back. Now it's worth double what I sold it for, so you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah, how long ago did you sell it?
I think I sold it in 2016.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah, it was before everything got crazy. And I thought I was doing really good selling it for like 49 grand or something, and now it's probably worth 80.
Back then, that's pretty good.
Yeah, back then it was. Like you said, I had a dealership for 10 years. I started it in 2009 just because I was getting bored with cars too fast and wanted to try different cars. So I was like, why not get a dealer's license and start just buying and selling them? So that's what I did. Every once in a while, I'd buy a car and I'd be like, this car's pretty sweet. I'm gonna keep it for a while. And so that's what I did. One of my favorite cars, oddly, is a S2000.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Really? You like
I
those?
love S2000s. I've had like 6 of them. Just an awesome car.
I'm learning stuff as you are, you
Right,
too.
yeah. The gearbox, the engine, everything about the S2000 I just love.
I do like that it goes to 9,000.
Yeah,
That's pretty-
you got to get the AP1. It's debatable. A lot of people like the AP2. It had a lower red line, a little more torque low end, but I like the AP1. 9,000 red line is just a fun car to drive. Not very fast, but handled great. You know, just a great car.
Not Honda boy. Now that I know that. Lost all respect. for
I've
them.
driven just about every car you can imagine. I've had every BMW, every Mercedes, every Audi, Jaguars. I love old Jags. I had an 01 XJR, the big body supercharged. I had 04 XJR, XK. I had like a 2000 XK. That was a cool car.
You know what's a crazy car is the XKRS GT.
Yeah, those are cool.
Like I've never even heard of such a thing until.
They're over the top. Yeah.
So Josh, tell us a random interesting fact about you.
I day trade stocks every day. Not a lot of people know that about me.
You're kind of doing the Mr. Mom thing too, right?
Yeah, I have 2 kids, 7 and a 9-year-old boy and a girl. And my wife is a musician. She's a violinist, so she's busy a lot with concerts and teaching and whatnot, so I take care of my kids quite a bit. The problem is my son is desensitized to cool cars now. If he sees a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, he's like, eh. And he's 9. And like, if I was 9 and saw something like that, I would have lost it.
Right.
And he's just like, whatever. I
I've
brought
seen
him to the
those.
Howard the other day to show him these cars, and he walked out and he looked around and he's like, can we go now? So I'm kind of disappointed in that. It's kind of sucks.
We ruined it.
The other thing too, it does, after a while you're around all these cool cars and you just like, they get less and less special over time the more you're around them and the more you drive them and
true.
whatnot.
This doesn't make us sound pretentious at all.
No, but what I'm saying is it kind of makes me sad in a way. Because
Like
it's
some of that initial emotional experience that you got
Yeah.
goes away. And like that's so exciting. Like the first time you buy a Ferrari, your heart's fluttering.
Oh yeah, the first time when I first got my Ferrari, I was like, every hour I was checking where it was. I bought it in New York. I'm like, okay, when's it gonna be here? And it was like the longest 2 weeks of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for that car.
Dude, I still remember, like the first week of owning it, you'd go out and check in the garage, be like, it didn't catch on fire?
Yeah.
Okay, it's still there.
Yeah, you get used to them, and it's like, oh man, the whole reason I got into this is because I was excited about them. So you have to keep things interesting. So you got to keep the cars moving. Now when I see the cars, I'm just like, how much money can I make on that?
Yeah, I still, every once in a while we get a car that's like special enough.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty, like I have to say, I really appreciated the 575.
Yeah.
When that came in the door and it just was so clean, like we were shocked at how clean it was. I know people don't like the look of it. I think it's a beautiful car. I just was like, I love this
Yeah,
car.
it's a love it or hate it on that. I like it. I haven't driven ours yet because it's had some issues, but we're waiting on parts, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's a fun car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Super Leggera,
Yeah.
that was pretty special too.
I think for the McLarens, for me, I had never driven a McLaren before we bought the 12C. And I just had like this, kind of like Dan, I just had a bad feeling. I don't know. I just, you hear all the bad stuff about him and you're like, I don't really want to mess with it. So we were like, bought it and I drove it home and I was like, hell yeah, I could own this car. Yeah, this is cool. The power and the handling. And sometimes you get in a car and you just feel like it fits you, everything about it. I felt like that when I drove that McLaren.
So the
I was
McLaren's
like,
on the list now,
It
huh?
could be, yeah. I think I'd do a 600 LT though if I was going to do one.
God, yes. I love the 600 LT.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. I really, really, really want to try a 675 LT.
Yeah,
I think that would be epic.
yeah,
I don't like, the 720 is too much of like a spaceship.
yeah. They're
And,
big.
like,
They're big cars.
They're
too.
big, yeah. And the 765 LT, of course, is just a more spaceship-y spaceship.
And then also for me, I like older cars. Anything newer than like 2010 is just too new for me. It doesn't really get me excited. Older stuff I like more, like the 360s, 430s even. I feel like I drive a 430 and I'm like, this is just too new. I like the older stuff, so that's just me.
All right, what's your favorite car brand now?
I don't know, that's a really hard question.
For you to own, not for the dealership.
Yeah, I think if I were gonna go buy another car right now, it would probably be a 360.
Really?
Yeah.
That high on the list?
I think that's what I would buy.
Gated?
Yeah, gated, for sure.
Yeah.
And just for like a daily driver, probably a Tesla. I've
Can't fault that.
I've had a couple Teslas, and for a daily driver, I don't see why you would drive anything else.
Especially if you're commuting,
Yeah.
like a boring commute
Yeah.
in traffic.
Yeah, you see these people buy these, $100,000 trucks driving around, and they're just commuting to work and back. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Every day you drive it, you're losing $50, $100 just in depreciation. I know Adam says he likes to drive his cars and doesn't care about depreciation. Well, I do. I've never lost money on any of the cars I've owned.
Really?
Knock on wood. Yes, I've bought them at auction or through some crazy deal, and I always figure out a way to drive it for free. So I've done that over the years. The last couple of cars I've had have done really well because of COVID. But
What was the car you made the most money on?
okay, I'll tell you the STI story.
Oh.
I get a call one day from a friend of mine who has a dealership in Austin, and he says, "Hey, these people just showed up with this Subaru STI, and it's not my type of car. Do you want to come look at it? You can buy it." And I said, "Sure, I'll come over." So I get over to the dealership and I start looking at it, and it's leaking coolant on the ground, and it's Subaru blue. It's got the gold wheels. I mean, it's the right thing. I think it was an 05, and it has exhaust on it, so it sounds kind of loud, and it has some extra gauges, the turbo gauges and all that. And so I was like, "How much?" And he said, gave me a number, and I said, "Well, that's really cheap. I think I'll take it." He's like, so I asked him, I said, "What's the deal with this car?" He's like, "Well, mom of the owner brought it in and said her son got arrested street racing. And she said, F you, your car's going away." So she brought it to him and said, "Here's the car, how much will you give me for it?" And it was a low number. And I was like, "Yes, I'll take it." So I took it, I had it towed back to my lot. Coolant leak was a radiator cap. I put the radiator cap on it.
Radiator cap.
Yeah. I didn't even look at the car, by the way. I mean, I glanced at it. I didn't look closely. But then when I got it back and I got the radiator cap on, I opened the glove box, and there's a receipt in there for a $30,000 engine build and transmission build. So the guy had just built the engine and transmission in Dallas, and there was a dyno sheet in there, and the dyno sheet said 700 all-wheel horse it was putting down. So I got pretty excited. I was like, hell yeah. So we took that car out, and I drove it for about a month. I had a ton of fun with it. It was insanely fast.
Yeah.
And I tripled my money on that car.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I paid $8,000 for it or something.
8.
And I sold it for 25. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was a cool car though. I felt bad for the kid, but hey, that's how it goes.
Hey,
the
street
car was
racing.
in his mom's name, so that was his first mistake. Don't put your car in your mom's name.
And then go street racing.
And then go street
Yeah,
racing.
don't street race mom and dad's car, kids.
Yeah, she was just like, "I just had to go get it out of the impound, brought it over here. We're done."
Oh my god.
And I've had crazy deals like that. I've bought and sold probably 1,000 cars or more now. There's always some crazy deal out there.
What's the craziest deal? Like the craziest situation? Or just a crazy situation?
Well, that one was one of them.
Yeah, yeah, that's
man,
pretty
there's
good.
so many. The best are the buyers that come in.
I'll say, or what about a sketchy as hell transaction?
Okay, here's a good story. This really nice guy I sold a few cars to. He brought in his Range Rover Sport Supercharged that he wanted to trade in on a Mercedes convertible I had. So I did the deal. I got the Range Rover, and it was black. It was all pimped out, gangster car or whatever you call it. Anyways, I listed for sale, and this guy calls me. He says, "You still have it?" "Yep." "Okay, I'm coming from Houston right now. I'm going to buy it from you. I'm bringing cash." "Okay, cool." Gets here. He's a South African guy. He's got a really thick accent, and he's got a brown paper bag. I kid you not, a brown paper bag with the money in it. And
Cash.
he's got his girlfriend with him who's Russian, and she's got like a fanny pack on, and it's clear, but the fanny pack has probably 50 grand in it. And you could see the money in her clear fanny pack. And I was just like, what the hell's going on?
That's like asking to get shot.
Yeah, so they come in, he drives the car, he's like, "Okay, I'll take it. How much do I owe you?" So he starts counting the money out. And then the Russian girlfriend, wife, whatever she was, goes, "Is there anything else I can buy while I'm here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. What are you looking for?" She ended up like buying another car from me while she was there, just like, "Here's the money, here's the money." The interesting part is about 6 to 8 months later, this guy walks in our office, and he's one of those detective guys where he's got the police necklace on with his
Oh,
badge.
yeah.
And he's just wearing a t-shirt. And I was like, hey man, what's up? How can I help you? Hey, I was looking for, he gave me the name of the dealership. I was like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. What am I in trouble for?
You have that feeling in your chest where you're like, oh shit, what did I do? And he's like, hey, I'm looking for this guy. And he gives me the name, and I was like, oh yeah, I recognize the name. And he's like, he bought a car from you? I was like, yeah, he sure did. He's like, can I see the paperwork? I said, sure. Gave him the paperwork. It was all legit. I did everything legit. I even reported it to the IRS because it was over 10 grand. Did all that. He goes, do you have any, has he contacted you and anything? No. We talked for a while, and he's like, well, I'm trying to find him because he's part of some criminal money laundering ring, and we're trying to pin him down. So if you hear from him or see him or anything, please contact us right away.
Holy crap.
It's like, okay.
I'm surprised they didn't seize your money. It's just so you can
Well, if it was a legal transaction.
It was legal, and I reported it. He asked me, did you report it to the IRS? I was like, yeah, I sure did. Thank God.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So that was interesting. After he left, I never heard from him again. There was another time, well, and this has happened to me a lot, but this was the most extreme. I sold a Lexus to a guy, and he came in and we did the paperwork, and he says, okay, I'm gonna go to the bank and get you a check. Okay, cool, here's the total. And he was by himself when he was there, and everything was fine. And he did try to get me down on the price a lot, and I was like, okay, whatever, we came to an agreement. And he comes back with the cashier's check, but he brought his entire family, his wife, his kids, even the kid's grandma was there, like watching the kids, so there was like 8 of them. I said, okay, let's just come in and sign the papers and get it done. Well, the cashier's check is for $2,000 less than we had agreed on. And I gave him the purchase order to take to the bank so he would know. He's like, oh, I thought you would have taken a little bit less than that for the car. You can't do that? And I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, we agreed on the price, come on. Oh, well, how about $1,500 less? No. You're gonna have to go back to the bank and get another check, or you're not driving away in this car. And I argued with the guy for like 10 minutes, and he finally left his entire family in my office, kids screaming, came back finally, took his car, and he's like, get the fuck out of here, bye. The funny thing is, people think they know how to negotiate, and they have no clue, and I can see it from a mile away. No idea what you're talking about, but nice try. Well,
that's extortion.
Yeah, but in their mind, they think it's negotiation. They're thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get this car cheap, and I'm gonna tell everybody what a great deal I got on this car." No, dude, come on. Don't try to negotiate with a dealer. Just go in and say, "Hey, if you have a certain budget or whatever, say, here's my budget. Can you do it or not?" Most dealers are gonna say yes or no. The whole, "Oh, will you take this? Will you take that?" You're just pissing them off and wasting time. Go in with your budget, offer them what you want, and if they can do it, great. And if not, either come up with more money or
yeah, I mean, to be fair, like our dealership, we know exactly how much we paid for the car, so we know exactly how much we need to get for the car. And
well, and a lot of times it's like we know the market really well. Like we know what the car should sell for. We have access to, public data that shows information on sold cars, auction cars, all of that stuff.
Well, we spent a bunch of time looking at the market. I mean,
so we know exactly what it's going to bring. If you're coming in with some ridiculous offer, we just sit here and laugh at you. Without saying that to your face, but we're going to sit here and laugh at you. So
yeah, I love the Facebook lowballs. They're hilarious.
Oh yeah, I mean, people have no shame, and I can't blame them for trying. But like,
I can.
the best is they make an offer and they don't even have the money. So
yeah, I mean, if you accepted the offer, well, actually, I didn't. Yeah, I can't afford that anyway. Or they like, oh, well, let me try and go get financing. They can't. It's like.
Occasionally, like I've gotten like ridiculous offers, and just for the hell of it, just because I know that they're not buying it, I say, sure, I'll do that. Do you want to bring me the money today? Like, when do you want to do the deal? They go dark. Fun dealing with weird customers. Don't be one of them.
All right, YouTube, you're gonna be seeing a lot more Josh, so I hope you like him. Yeah, if you don't, fuck off. But all right, we got some. Actually, we bought another car. It should be here very soon, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna get that car converted and running very shortly. The 650 is gone. The Corvette has a deposit, so that'll be gone this week. We're just waiting on the title, turning over the inventory. We got some new stuff coming, but that's gonna do it. Please go visit normalguyssupercar.com. There you can buy parts and service for your car. Use the code NGS10. It hooks you up with 10% off most things we sell, and of course, visit NG Supercars if you want to see our inventory. Send us an email, sales@ngsupercars, if you want to sell us your car. We're looking for some more inventory, so hit us up. All right, guys, we're going to be doing a lot more cool car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.
Now you can dub that into any really bad jokes or whatever.
Although that was super loud. Damn, that was loud. I was not expecting it to be as loud as it was.